Inspire.
Welcome back to the Kidney Stone Diet Podcast, the show about reducing your kidney stone risk and living your best life.
Your best life.
I'm stumbling over my words, but I'm your host and fellow student, Jeff Saris.
Because we're drinking this.
Yeah.
He's stumbling.
We're so tipsy on the sparkling water.
He's stumbling. And I'm Jill Harris, your kidney stone prevention nurse. We just got done shooting our 100th episode, so we're just going to do a few episods here while we're together in person, because this probably won't happen for another 2 years because we live far away. Not that far, but far enough.
Yeah, far enough that it was a hike for you to get out here.
Yeah, which I would climb mountains for you, honey. But, that was a pain in my ass. I had to with traffic and everything. We city folk don't like to venture to the suburbs very much. But I would come anywhere where you asked me to come. What are we doing today?
Yeah, so we have another voicemail.
Oh,
And
okay.
What do you say we just dive right into that?
Okay, let's do it.
Hi, this is Jenny, and I live in Georgia, and I am on a low oxalate diet. And my question is, they tell me that I cannot have dark drinks. Is that related to oxalate, or is it just something in general for kidney stones? And I kind of want to know why not. So thank you for your time, and goodbye.
Jenny or Janie?
Yes, that I think Jenny.
Jenny, that's a friggin' great question. There's a reason why it's a great question. There's a few things. I'm going to be a little fired up here too. Number one, why as healthcare professionals are we giving such generic advice without saying why we're giving it? This is a big deal I teach in my kidney stone prevention course, my Facebook group, here on YouTube. We as patients, because I am also a patient with my cancer that's in remission, so I always like to tell you guys that so you understand, I understand where you're coming from, and so why I do get fired up. So Jenny was given advice to, stay away from dark liquids. What is that? Wine, cola,
Broth?
coffee, broth. What is a dark liquid? Could be all of that. So it's very generic advice. No disrespect to the doctor. Nurses give out advice like this. Dietitians will give. We healthcare professionals can sometimes give out generic advice. And so we've got to always remember that each patient we talk to, they may not understand what we're talking about. So it's our responsibility to make sure we're as clear as possible. Also, when patients do the urine analysis call with me, I will prompt them, here are your results, here are specific things to talk about your doctor with. This is very important. They wouldn't know to bring that up, right? And the doctor may skip over it just because there's bigger issues. I like to say I'm like Angie Dickinson Pepper. And for you guys who are my age, you'll understand that reference. These two may not. So it falls on deaf ears. That was policewoman Angie Dickinson Pepper. So when I'm going over a urine analysis, I'm like Pepper. I'm undercover. I'm leaving no stone unturned, people. Now, Jenny. The doctor probably meant, Jenny, stay away from soda. A lot of doctors will say, stay away from the dark colas. You can have the clear colas because there's citrate in the 7-Up and the Sprite and all that. So they'll say, have that. I don't love that either because there's a lot of sugar in these things. The doctor probably told you to stay away from it though because there's phosphoric acid in the sodas. There's a lot of sugar in the sodas. So I'm not concerned about the oxalate level. Forget about that. Why would you want to have a soda anyway? So now, before you're like, Jenny could be thinking, because I like friggin' soda, girl. That's why. Okay. All right. I get that you like soda. You can have a soda here and there. But soda is truly one of the unhealthiest foods, drinks you can have because it's just all sugar. It's sugar and bubbles. That's what it is. So it's going to rot out your teeth. It's going to raise your blood sugar level, obviously. And in the kidney stone world and also in the osteoporosis world, we're very concerned about excess sugar because it will raise your urine calcium. And when you have too much calcium in your urine, Typically, it's because you have just lost it from your bone, and too much sugar and salt will do that. When you have calcium in your urine for kidney stone formers, you will have an increased risk of having phosphate and oxalate connect to that calcium if you're not peeing enough and making a little stone. So that's why it's important. So we as patients in our treatment plans, whether it's kidney stones, cancer, diabetes, whatever, when you are given a direction from your doctor, it is on you to ask, oh, what's that for? Why do I need to worry about? What should I do instead? Because I really like that. How am I going to wean off my 5 sodas a day? Jenny, I don't know how many sodas, if any, that you have. But the patient needs more than just stay away from dark liquid. I mean, there just could be so much more that you could have given, didn't? So I'm just putting it now in our laps as patients. But see, here's the problem too. When we patients go into a doctor's office, again, we ain't there because he wants to tell us a joke. We're there because shit has hit the fan. Something is wrong. Now we're losing our mind. We're scared. We were just in pain. We just had a cystoscopy. We just had this, and this. So I just did a Facebook Live on this. I know when I went into my doctor's office visits, and it doesn't matter what you have. You're just in a doctor's office now. And even though I'm a nurse, I do kidney stones. I don't do cancer. So I don't know anything about it. And I'm scared. And so I don't know the questions to ask. I don't know if the doctor says something, am I even going to retain it because I'm so scared? When you go into a doctor's office, this could be a whole other video, but bring somebody with you. Because if you are anxious, you may need another pair of ears there. Or ask the doctor if you can tape your hoozy because, I would do that sometimes because I just was too nervous and I couldn't retain the information. And then when you leave the office, it's very difficult to get hold of a doctor again, right? So we don't know what we don't know. And that's why I came up with that 15-minute service. So you could get prompt to know how to handle that office visit and get the best visit possible. So Jenny, for your kidney stones, for weight loss, for diabetes, for osteoporosis, for cardiovascular disease, it's important not to drink soda because of the sugar content and the empty calories, not to mention the calories. It's a couple hundred calories, right, per can. And it's not like you get full off that, so you're just drinking soda all day. Again, Jenny, I don't know if you do, and it's unfortunate that the doctor didn't even ask if you did and just told you that information. But if you do, guys, want to have a soda here and there, that's something you enjoy, I would say, have half of a can, save the other half for later, maybe, elongate it out throughout the day, and try to cut down. And if that means going to diet, Jill says you shouldn't have a diet soda. Jill never said that. And Jill never said that because if you're getting off regular sugar, a regular Coke, which has a lot of calories and a lot of sugar, and you're able to wean yourself off to a diet and have that, I don't care. Yes, it has artificial sweeteners, but we have a video on artificial sweeteners. Go look at that one and see what I say about that. So I just care that people eat healthier, drink healthier beverages, and it will decrease your stone risk because you will be drinking a lot less sugar. Okay? Does that make sense, Jeff?
Definitely. And you're always, in terms of the quantity of liquids ingested too, you always say that basically everything counts.
Everything counts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they do have they can have a positive impact. It's just you're picking and choosing where you want to spend that.
Right.
The liquids.
Right. And with the kidney stone diet, there's a set of goals for each of your goals, whether sugar, salt, protein, whatever, meat, protein, fluids, calcium, oxalate. We give you the goals because we know you're grown up and you're smart people. And so we give you a bank account with all the goals and your debit card. If you want to waste, see, the problem with soda is it's about 38 grams of sugar in one can of soda. And for a woman, you shouldn't have more than 25 grams of added sugar a day, no matter what disease you're battling. And a man gets 37.5. I just round it up and give them 38. But one can of soda, I don't know. You could say, yeah, girl, that's where I want to put my added sugar. Okay. That means you can't have sugar for the rest of the day. But if you want to put it there, you're grown. And then people say, well, Jill says I can have soda. Henry, Jill said I could have a soda. You didn't hear all of it, Gladys. I said other things too. If you're going to have a soda and that keeps you compliant because you love that soda so much and you pay attention to everything else, I'll tell my patients, they'll say to me, Gladys, Jill, so you know, I'm drinking 5 sodas a day, but I'll get down to 1 if you give me the 1. And I'll say, listen, Glad, I'll give you that 1 if you get rid of the 4, and you could actually keep it if you adhere to all the other goals of the kidney stone diet. So again, the reason diets don't work is because you're giving up your very favorite food. Now, I'll tell Gladys a lot more words. I'll say, I'm not a fan of this, and I want to go down. On my gravestone will say, Jill was not a fan of it, but she's going to give it to you because you're giving her so much back. And so my goal is for your overall health. So if you eat well and move your body and positive thoughts too, that all goes hand in hand, then you're going to feel better. And if you feel better, then that's what makes me happy. And that's what makes Jeff happy. And so that's what we're here to do, promote a healthier lifestyle in general. If a 1 soda a day is going to keep you compliant with everything else, have it. You know, I'm not a fan, but if it keeps you compliant, I'm all for it. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and I know it was a while ago, but when you mentioned having someone join you at the doctor and maybe recording it, like those are just 2 little things I just wanted to stick a pin in because those are things I think a lot of us wouldn't think of. Like, I wouldn't think of having someone come with me as that support, but it is so stressful.
It's so stressful.
It's something, it's so valuable to have the extra set of ears, but also just that little bit, those little resources, the thought to do that. Like actually, when I had my wisdom teeth out, someone at some point, this is like many, many years ago, but they told me that they listened to their iPod. So it was a while ago, but they were listening to music the whole time.
Yep.
And it was one of those, as soon as they said it, I was like, I'm going to do that for sure.
Yep.
Like that'll keep my mind occupied. So I wasn't going under. They were just going to do local anesthesia. But that little thing made a world of difference for my experience going through that. And yeah, I think that's hugely valuable to consider bringing someone along. And I didn't mean to rewind so much. It was just something
but I think it
going
is
through
too.
my mind still.
Yeah,
since you said it.
Yes, look, I'm not the smartest girl. I'm not the cutest girl. I'm not all that anything really, but I'm very practical, and I've been through a lot of the things I'm trying to teach everybody about. So I have a lot of experience. You know, I have decades of experience being a patient, the last 5 years, but decades of how do you help people make changes? And also, it has to be specific for them. It can't be a generic brochure. Don't drink brown soda or whatever the hell. Don't drink brown beverage. What is that? How is that helpful? Right? So you have to bring common sense. I'm trying to put common sense back on our plates, right? How do we do the things that we're being asked to do? How do we navigate a doctor's office visit? So a lot of my services are based upon all the hell that I went through as a patient. And just to see it from the other side, instead of being the healthcare person, being a patient has really opened my eyes to a lot of ways, a lot of services I want to help patients with, because those services are even more important than the diet in a lot of ways, right? So you could tell somebody a set of goals for a diet, but again, how are they going to do it based upon all the stuff that they're bringing to the table, literally? And then how are they going to navigate their healthcare, right? Their doctor office visits and just the practical stuff. So like bringing a friend and recognizing, I'm also really, what keeps me interested in this work is recognizing the humanity of what we go through in a doctor's office visit. Somebody has to go online and say, listen, I was really scared. I didn't know if I was going to live. And I had at the time a 9-year-old boy. And so, you know, how many movies can I see, for Pete's sake? I've had a great life, but I did not want to live long without seeing my son. That was just, you know, so I had to learn all the tricks that I give out now, free on YouTube, free on Facebook, free, and help people so they can feel better when they feel their worst. So that's a really huge, satisfying part of my job, for sure. Yeah.
And you can find all of those resources at kidneystonediet.com and just everything. The plethora of free resources, the premium products, the kidney stone prevention course, the free Facebook group, which is booming. There's always so much going on there. The kidney stone prevention group, I believe it's called, but it's linked to from the site. You can find all of that there. And yeah, thanks again for your question. I think that was a great question.
Great question.
And again, the number is 773-789-8763 if you're out there and you have a question you want answered or just want to call in and even give sort of some insight into your experience so far and maybe things that have helped you when you've gone to see the doctor and the conversation starter maybe that helped you get a better outcome in the end.
Absolutely. All of our information from our community, from us, everything that we can pull together and bring out and talk about and really deal with, I mean, that's what we're here for.
Absolutely. So yeah, thanks again for your question and thanks everyone for listening and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Jenny.